This, that.
This I polarized difference, notarized signet. I'm polarized dripping.
Welcome to the Broccoli Pod. I'm Augie Dupre.
I'm Capital J, and we're here with
Kayos.
Hey.
Hell yeah, bro. How you living?
Honestly, amazing. I'm probably one of the best like I have in my life. You know what I mean? I'm happy as fuck. Having a baby. It sounds super cliche, but like it really puts life into perspective though. Like things that really matter and things that are really important. That I finally got to finish my What Happens Next project. We're doing shows. We're putting on for the culture and like the live, or not live, but the local culture here, the music scene. Like I don't know, things are great. So I'm happy as fuck, man.
I feel like I have seen like a lot of growth with you recently since you had your kid. Like just personally, I do see it. I notice it.
I agree with that. I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because we know you super well. We're all really good friends, but these people might not know you. So why don't you tell them just like a little bit about yourself? Just
like your life.
Yeah, what you do.
All right, well, my name is Kayos. That's my artist name. And I've been making music for a little over 10 years. I'm a recording artist here in Redding, California. I create art, and that's how I navigate life.
And you put on shows?
Anything that has to do with music or any sort of art. I love being part of it. And like I said, that's just how I navigate myself in the world and trying to understand it. So,
when was the first show you put on, and what was it called? What was it for?
The first show.
I think we talked a little bit about it in the last episode.
We did
a little bit.
In the last episode with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first show, I would say like the first official show that I put on was at Wind River. And, to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on like why and like how it all happened was I was never invited to shows. Like I felt like I was the biggest fucking outcast when it came to the music scene, right? I didn't get invited to shows. I didn't know where the culture was. I didn't know where the scene was. It was basically non-existent to me.
Yeah.
So, and it kind of was as far as I know.
There was only really like a punk rock scene here.
Yeah. It was very like indie type, like rock or country artists, you know what I mean? So, it was basically non-existent for like hip hop or anything like that. So, I was never a part of it. So I was like, fuck, man, like, what am I going to do? So I bought all my own equipment, bought everything I would need to be able to perform shows, for myself or whatever, whoever. And, I created my own lane. And, it was one of the smartest moves I ever did because obviously we're, doing all this shit. Yeah, exactly. And like, we're doing all the things we're doing. And, it just happened. It was just one of those things where, like I said earlier, is you just have to do. Just whatever you want, don't make any excuses, just head straight towards it. And, that's basically what I did. I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to make these shows happen if no one else is going to make it happen for me, which no one's going to give you those handouts, and you can't expect those handouts. So, you just got to go for it. And that's what I did.
That's really cool, actually. I didn't know that was the first show you'd ever put on, because we were part of that, and
the Wind River one.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Yeah,
honestly, it seemed like you had done that before, and that was kind of right when I had just met you.
Right. Yeah.
And that was that's really cool to know.
Thank you.
That was like the first thing, and to be a part of that, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. We've been in since the beginning.
Yeah, look where we're at now.
Yeah, we've done quite a few together.
That really
now.
did change the music scene in Redding for sure, because it is the thing. It's like, people didn't know how to throw shows. People didn't know the first thing about like even doing shows, really. Nobody probably even thought about doing a show. That was a recording hip hop artist here because, nobody was doing it. So they're like, well, there's no lane for, like you said, you had the equipment, you got all the equipment, and you did that, which really opened up people's eyes to it.
That's crazy. See, like, that's not why I did it initially. You know what I mean? I just wanted to do what I love to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, to see that it had that impact is fucking humbling as hell, and it's an incredible experience because this is what younger Calvin like always wanted when I started like creating art, writing little raps in class and shit like that. Like, this is everything I ever wanted. You know what I mean? And this is actually kind of like a wave I've been on. I'll get into that in just a second. Actually, like kind of where my headspace has been lately. But yeah, no, it's amazing to see that it had that impact on not only like my music career, but like other people's, and then that opened up a wake up call to like all the hip hop artists or any sort of artists around here that like wasn't really doing shows or whatever, like it set a bar, which Houston had like made a Facebook post about it, and I thought like we were just on the high of from the excitement of that show.
Yeah.
So like to see that it's had that as an outcome, you know what I mean?
And to see how you came back at it after, because like that happened
dude.
like a month before COVID happened, and then it shut down everything. Because like I remember you saying like this is it, this is where it starts, we're fucking going from here, and then bam. COVID hit, and we're like,
yeah,
damn it.
First roadblock,
bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That was honestly really crushing to me too, because I just bought all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got credit cards and, you know, put myself in debt, put my wife in debt, you know, because she's always just trusted me with anything that I do, you know what I mean?
Very supportive.
Oh my God, like beyond supportive. And that is huge, especially someone that has an expensive hobby that, or, you know, whatever it may be, you know.
Hobbies are expensive, bro.
What?
A lot of hobbies are expensive.
True. Yeah, absolutely. It depends. Yeah, how much you love it.
Most expensive ones.
That's true. Yeah. But like to have a supportive partner, like I trust you. You know, I trust you're gonna do the right thing in terms of like, you know, still be able to provide, not just fucking dump all your money into it and then be like, well, I don't know, we've got to move out. You know what I mean?
So to have that balance.
Yeah, absolutely. So to have her trust me like that was awesome. You know, get back into it. So, yeah, 2020 hit after I just fucking not 2020 hit, but you know what I mean. COVID,
no,
like
yeah, the
it was a fuck. Yeah, the world,
that was 2020.
That was 20. Yeah, it was a fucking movie, and not because
it happened like we did the show in February. Right, it was in February.
January 12th.
January 12th.
I don't
right.
know how I remember that.
And then like end of February, March, COVID hit.
Oh yeah,
and everything was shut down.
Well, and we had such momentum too. We were like, "Yo, this was like, you know, we were excited as fuck. That was the first show we'd done, you know, and it was like, okay, we could do this shit, you know." And yeah, so like you said, first roadblock, and it was like, oh, okay, fuck, okay, now back to the drawing board, draw it all back. The world's literally changed forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At least for our forever, you know, and. Yeah, so that was kind of like well, shit, okay.
It was kind of, for me at least, it was kind of a good reset, though. It got me into it. It got me to where, like, I was like, wow, this is, like, fun. I really like doing this. Me and my other partner in Cult of Happiness, Chandler, we stopped making music, you know, entirely. And then we stopped hanging out. We moved and all this shit happened. And then you hit me up to, like, bring me back into the studio. And that actually really got my gears going again. Because I had, like, been, like, doing other stuff. And, like, I was just having fun, just living life or whatever. And that actually, like, really did get me back into it. And then, you know, fucking 5 months after that, we were finally able to have shows again. Then you did the Back to Reality show.
Yeah.
How long were you waiting for that one? Planning that?
Honestly, it was kind of more of like an impulse thing. Because I was just like, dude, I guess let's start over again. You know what I mean? Like, back to the drawing board. And, of course, like every show that I do personally that I put on, I want them to have purpose. And I feel like, you know, just about everything we do should have purpose. And, you know, everything we do is has purpose, right? So, yeah, I was like, okay, I mean, that makes the most sense, you know, back to reality. Like, I dabbled with a couple of different ideas and stuff of, like, just basically getting back to fucking some sort of, like, normalcy. Because, like I said, it was a shitstorm of whatever the hell 2020 was. You know what I mean?
2021.
So, like I said, yeah, was it 2021?
Both.
It bled into it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Most of 2021, too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Post-apocalypse. Yeah, no.
We're still having all sorts of shutdowns in 2021, too.
Yeah, we're still... That was another thing.
It was still off and on, but...
Yeah, that was another thing. We were like, well... Yeah.
Yeah, and then 22 hit and the new variant came out, but then everybody was like, I'm not doing it. No, we're not. We're going outside.
Yeah,
I'm touching grass.
Exactly.
We're gonna have some shows now.
Yeah, I need to touch some grass.
But yeah, no, it was kind of like okay, let's get back to this. Let's try it again. You know, when you get knocked down, get back up, sort of thing. So, but I think we came back fucking 10 times harder, dude. Like,
and now we've had quite a few, like, one a month or whatever, or maybe more.
Yeah, we've had at the beginning of this year we've had one pretty much every month. Last year, when we really got the ball rolling again, because the Back to Reality show was like the end of 2021, right?
Yeah, it was like was it June or July? I think it was like summertime.
Oh yeah, because then August was the first flows.
Was it really? Holy shit.
Yeah, 2021.
Damn, I was full fucking force back.
It's 23, right? It's 2020. Okay, know, right? And then second Flows by the River. So go into that too. Tell us about the Flows by the River. Bro. What incepted that?
That was cool. That was a good idea.
Honestly, Flows by the River has become a monster all on its own, which I had no fucking idea would turn into what it is. Obviously, you love to see it do that, but like initially, why I created Flows by the River and why I wanted to do it, and the idea behind it was basically, as you guys know, the music scene was still very quiet, like, you know, especially for like hip hop, and it was still very non-existent. Like I said, we had our kickstarts and stuff, like with the first few shows that we had mentioned, but also it was my way of like being able to give back to the community and all the support like that everyone had been giving us, because the love was fucking there, and it still is, you know what I mean? But people were really excited to get back, experience, you know, shows, do live performances, again. Do something, anything, you know. So people were still on that high, and you know, very excited to go do things, and so I was like, you know, this is my way of giving back to everybody and to give to the artists of this community, or like, you know, the local music scene, right? Because like myself, I had mentioned, I didn't have those opportunities, you know, to be invited to a show, be a part of a show. You know, I had no idea. I had to learn that shit all on my own. You know what I mean? No one taught me how to do this shit.
Right.
And that was my way of giving back, and being able to put like younger artists or any sort of artists that wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to perform in front of a crowd. You know what I mean? Whether it was 8 people or fucking, I mean, the first show was a huge success that I had no idea would happen. But it was to give other people an opportunity, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then now it's just become like this thing, and now I kind of know where I want to go with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the first year, you know, like obviously you're getting set up, doing all that, just getting a feel for it, and then the second year, trying to get everybody on there, and ended up being like,
there's a lot of
people. How long was that? That was like 3-4 hours long?
It was so long.
It was so long. I think there was like 16 or 17 artists, bro.
Yeah.
Which now looking back, why the fuck did I think that was a good idea?
It was super lit though. You know, we had a random homeless guy that was a fire breather come out.
Yeah, bro,
we had some people move up a couch.
Yeah, and like, that's what's cool about these fucking shows. Like the most wild, random shit happens, and it's so fucking awesome.
Facts.
You know, so yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, they're still just like happening, and I try not to think about things like that too much when I'm creating, because I think the more you put too much thought into it, it's gonna like mess with it, and muddy it. Absolutely, is the best way to put it. Yeah, man, they're still growing, but I think now, like my vision that I have for it, I want it to eventually become like a festival here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it's not necessarily always going to be at Anderson River Park, you know. So whatever it goes into, I'm excited. I think one thing, like I had mentioned, I want to kind of tell you where my headspace has been and stuff in terms of the music. I've reached a point, because I just finished my last album, What Happens Next, and I reached a point in my life after having a child, you know, and said a lot of life-changing things have happened. And I thought about it because I don't really give myself much time to reflect on where I am at in my life. You know, I have people like, you know, your artist buddies and your friends and stuff that be like, yo, you did this and this and this and this. And you're like, oh, fuck. When you finally look back at it, you're like, damn, okay, yeah, I've done quite a bit of things,
the
you know?
report card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You get your, like, stats and your fucking accolades, you know? So you look back at it and you're like, damn, okay, I've done all these things. And so for the first time in a while, I feel like I've had time to reflect. And where I'm at in my life is I am very content with, like, I'm doing everything that 16-year-old Calvin, when I was on the rock band mic and I first started, like, this is everything that I had hoped for. You know what I mean? I didn't go into creating music because I wanted to be rich and famous. I created it because I wanted to create art, and that, like I said, that's how I navigate myself in life, and I'm doing everything that I would hope I would. So now, at this point in my life, it's whatever comes after this is, I'm excited as fuck. It's just a plus.
Is that the next album name?
No. No.
What comes after this?
Dude. That's how you know you're running out of ideas.
No, I just hate Augie.
Fair enough. For comments like
you heard it here. You heard it here first, boys and girls.
I'm moving out.
Move by the First.
Oh wow, okay, it's getting real. Yeah.
You said you're moving out first?
No, I said Move by the First.
Oh.
Mom and Dad are fighting. So I want to ask you guys a couple questions. Now, Jay, you've just started. Like, you've started to tip your toes into, like, being your own artist, right? And also, because you've been a part of the shows, like we had mentioned. Yeah.
He's been my DJ and shit forever.
You've always been a part of the shows. Exactly. He's been a part of it. But now he's branching out and, like, wanting to use his voice and, say what he has to say. So how's that been so far?
It's cool. I have always been an artist for sure.
Love it.
And just, like, drawing and all the different stuff. So this is just another way to kind of express myself.
Dope.
And I guess just have fun, really. That's kind of all I ever want to do is just have fun with my friends.
Absolutely.
So I wish I took life more seriously sometimes, but I just don't.
I wish I didn't take it as serious. So if I could get some of your, like, funness, and not like I'm not fun, but you know what I mean? Like, stop taking it so seriously, bro. Take a deep breath, I'm like, just relax, enjoy it.
I'm just here to do the fun stuff, and, like, when I get inspired, I like to ride the inspiration and stuff, and sometimes I just don't have it, and so I do find it hard, but I also, like, want to participate, so I do struggle a little bit with the fact that, like, how do I say this, I guess? Just, like, I want to work, but I also don't want to, like...
Force it.
Oh, yeah, I just want to have the fun and do, like...
Yeah.
Just do it while you want to do it.
That's what life's all about, bro. Like, just...
But I also don't want to, find fun in not participate.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that kind of reminds me of, like when people talk about, like, writer's block or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily believe in it. I don't know. I kind of think it's a myth. It sounds weird, but, like... Hear me out for a sec.
Wow, so, Calvin just always has inspiration.
Oh, okay. No, but, like, I just think, like, creativity comes in waves. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to come to you sometimes, and sometimes you got to go experience shit to be able to have that creativity come back to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, I think to, like, put a label on it, like, fuck, I got writer's block, I can't think of anything, blah, blah, blah. It's like, then just go experience some shit. Yeah. Go live life. Go do something. You know what I mean? Not saying that they're not, but, like, see the opportunities. And then if all of that fails, surround yourself with other creative people. It'll happen. You know what I mean?
It does. And I also just have, like, other passions as well. Totally. Yeah. So I put a lot into, like, working out and fitness and all
absolutely.
that stuff.
Which it shows. Look at you.
Thanks, dog.
Swole daddy.
Appreciate you. Anyway, but I also want to, like, it's hard to divide your attention when I'm like, I want to work on this. And then I'm just like, I don't have, like, all the inspiration. So maybe I'm like, I use it as a procrastination thing, but I definitely want to keep trying. Too,
As an artist, as a creative, it's like I feel like ingrained in our DNA to procrastinate.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Everybody's a procrastinator.
Your mind's moving so fast that, like, I don't know, shit gets overwhelming, bro. That's super fast. Because, like, again, like, we're creatives and we're intelligent people. We like to take on, like, multiple things at a time, and it just, like, you're like, I can keep taking on things, and then you're like,
this is a lot.
Plate starts getting really full.
Your eyes are bigger than your stomach type
100%.
thing.
I 100% agree with that, and that's also another thing. Like, I like a headspace I'd been in. It's just like the overwhelmingness. You know what I mean? There's so much to do, such little time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when we aren't doing this as our full-time job and shit.
Right.
You know, we do this when we find time to.
Yeah.
You know.
We have real jobs as well.
Real jobs. Yeah. No, but, like, we still got to get that money. We're not at a point where we can just rely on it or any of it to become full-time income, especially with
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
It's kind of cool seeing, like, you moving towards that, though.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
you're talking about renting out the equipment, and even, like, if you were to get into, like, doing, like, a DJ type thing, because we were talking about, like, how you ended the last show and you were DJing for, like, 2 hours after our show ended.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had got to talk to Augie about that. You had left. But, like, I'll make the short version of it. Basically, from the last show that we had at Cedar Crest, we were trying to wrap up and everything. So we were playing some music, so it's just not dead silent, while we're closing everything up. We were playing music, and a crowd starts forming. So, like, everyone starts getting down, like, just a bunch of girls, all ages, all these dudes hanging out. Like, everyone's, like, straight turning it into, like, a fucking dance floor. And, me and Jado look at each other, and we're like, I guess keep the party going, you know. We're entertainers at heart, so like, fuck, okay. And so it went on for like 2 hours, and I was like, all right, my wife's gonna be pissed. I gotta get home. You know what I mean? But like, it was just something that just happened. But yeah, it was cool as hell. So yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's awesome. Actually,
yeah, it was pretty lit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was.
So
it was
you
sick
think
as
about
fuck.
starting to kind of like maybe do that more?
I don't know.
Did that spark something?
A little bit, yeah, it did. Yeah, me and my wife have been talking, because she's like my like go-to, you know what I mean, that person that I can be. Yeah, and yeah, the like, I guess the voice of reason, you know, because like I can sometimes have crazy ass ideas that are like, okay, let's hold on, like, you know what I mean, because we do, we I mean, as an artist, all
I'm
of us, you know what I mean.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a fucking menace, you know. So
thank God we don't have money right now, because.
Yeah, we'd be dangerous in all the best ways. You know. No. No, but like, she's my voice of reason. Like, okay, let me run this by you. Like, what do you think about this? You know. So I love that I can have that with her, and also have that dynamic as well. But yeah, no, it definitely sparked, you know, some interest of at least trying to like at least get a side hustle to either like we had already been doing like DJing for schools and stuff and weddings like of close friends and stuff. So we had already been doing that, but like to push the envelope, you know, and really make it a thing, I guess. You know, if people want to book us for their bar, like dope. Like I love to have a good time, so whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what else is in the works as far as like maybe your next album?
Okay, so yeah, that wasn't actually. That's what I was gonna say. Was I'm always worried that like doing something else will pull me away from the music. You know, like because that's the last thing I want. I don't want the business to take over my love for creating the art. You know, so that's always my biggest worry. But I don't feel like it will because I love it too much.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite part is literally just being in the studio and creating the music like that. Like when you have an idea and you take it and you make it something that's, you know, almost tangible, you know, as close as you can get. It's a pretty great feeling, and I love that like satisfaction.
I think I definitely agree with that, and that's why like for like new like upcoming artists or just people that like to sing, the best thing that I've noticed like with anybody who's like got any kind of insecurity about making music, you get them in the studio, you record even a little bit, and as soon as they hear it back, they're hooked. Right. You know, taking that final step, because it is like that feeling of like, wow, I put this out there. It's on the. I'm listening to it play back to me.
Right. It
is
me.
Cool to see something done.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you don't like it, you know what I mean? Because usually you're gonna have your first few recordings that you're like, I'm not totally in love with this. I'm still trying to figure it out, and that's totally.
But you can't leave it at that either.
No. Yeah, you can go back to that, revisit the idea, and be like, okay, let's make it better. You know how many times I do that still.
Yeah.
Like, I still fucking do that. You know, I'll send a song off, finish it, think it's finished, send it off, get it mixed and mastered, spend all the money to do that, and then get it back, and I'm like, I don't like this. And my wife's like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? But, like, it's that perfectionism, and, you know, you can create that idea over and over until, you know, you are totally in love with it.
It all goes back to it being your art. If it's not the way you want it to sound, you shouldn't feel bad about, like, I want to change it. I know spent this money on it, you know, but, like,
dude, I've always thrown everything I've done away.
I hate you for that.
Every single thing I've done, I've thrown away. My mom saved some of my stuff, and I'm like, "Oh shit, you have that?" I would have thrown everything away. I would draw shit, and I'd be like, "This is done," and I fucking hate it, and just throw it away.
I do that a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say I have this cycle with like when I create pretty much anything, but mainly it's the music because that's what I create the most. I'll create a song, love the idea, love the lyrics, everything. I'll record it, hate it, and I'm like, why the fuck did I even think about doing this? This was such a terrible idea. Like, I don't even like what I did. And then, like, just trash the idea. And then I'll come back to it, like, a week later. And then I'm like, okay, let's start over again. Let's make it better this time. You know what I mean? So
I mean, legitimate trash,
it's a constant,
like, delete.
You're full blown, like,
zero.
See, I can never do that to myself. Because I feel like there's...
I'm so critical of myself, dude.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
trash.
I believe it.
Like I have this. Not as much anymore because I've kind of like overcome this. I've become better. I've definitely become a lot better over the years. But when I first started, I would like write like almost a whole song, and I'd be like the inspiration would kind of be gone. So I'd be like, okay, I'm not gonna try to force it.
Yeah.
I want to just write some fucking dumbass lines and just like have it be what it is, and then. I'd save it, and I'd come back to it, and every time I come back to it, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm starting over. Delete the whole thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it's that so like criticalness as an artist, because you obviously strive to create it the best you possibly can, and if you're not happy with it, then you're like, oh man, and there's a healthy balance on ourselves.
There's a healthy balance.
Oh, for sure,
because that's the only way that we get better.
Yeah, I don't have the healthy balance at all, dude. It doesn't fucking exist. Complete emotional distress, depression, and then spiral, and then I come back up eventually. But like, it's a constant cycle. It's so bad, but it is what it is.
It's a struggle between the mind, the left and the right hemispheres of the brain fighting each other.
He fucking tells me I always get fucking philosophical. Look at this guy over here. He's like, the left and the right side of the brain are fighting itself.
I know, you're getting so Philadelphia over there.
Like cream cheese, baby. I'm smooth.
Oh my god. So it's been a good time, guys. I'm
gonna head out.
Yeah, I'm alright. Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Philosophy is actually like something I've always been like so into. You know, like Alan Watts. Alan Watts has fucking absolutely changed my life.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
Yeah, philosophy.
Not Alan Watts, but like just the philosophy
in general.
Yeah, 100%. Like just understanding ourselves in this world, because we get fucking dropped here and we're just like figure it out. You know what I mean? Like we don't know why the fuck we're here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
what we're supposed to do? No,
you do. The conversation in your head that you have every day, the one that you know is right, that's harder to do, knows what's going on.
Yeah,
and
like my higher self, but my ego self doesn't know what the fuck we're doing. You know what I mean? So like,
that's the hard part to ascend.
Yes, to transcend. No, but like, yeah, I
is your third eye open?
Agree. Yeah.
Okay, it's like okay. Gotcha.
It's
Squinty.
tired, but it's there. Yeah. No, but yeah, back to the philosophy thing is. That's
what I was trying to
say. I love it. I love just like trying to understand everything. I think that's what it is, and especially like being an overthinker. Dangerous game, but
it helps me not overthink.
Great.
Like when I see or hear other people describing feelings that I have or things that I'm like struggling with to like identify, because like I always get it right there to the end, and then I'm like, what is the rest of this idea, this thought I have?
Yeah.
But like going back and looking at philosophers, that's why Alan Watts is so prevalent, because like a lot of his lectures are on things that I have struggled with personally. Totally. And so like hearing him come to a conclusion with it, it's like that is the final piece that I was missing. You know, and like it does explain it in a way that like I believe it's true.
Well, and it makes you feel like, okay, so like I'm not fucking crazy. Yeah. You know, I'm not alone in the things that I'm thinking, and I think it does help you get through those hardships. You know what I mean? Like where you can. What's that?
So that's interesting. Sometimes I feel crazier.
I think it gives you like, at least for me, like so I can only speak for myself because, that's my point of view. Yeah. But I think it gives you kind of a little bit of peace of mind that you're like, okay, so like other people are either already understood it, what I'm going through, or are currently trying to figure it out as well. So we're all on like the same sort of path, you know. So
yeah, I agree.
It's a tough one to.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. And like I said, that was kind of like the vague sense of what we're talking about, but I think it is so vast. Like you would need countless hours to be able to just dive into the complexity of life and everything around us, dude. It's wild. Well, it's overwhelming.
Where would you start?
With
explaining the complexities of life. Let's get into it.
Oh
no, I'm just kidding.
We got it like that. I wish we got it like that. Yeah. It's I don't know. All I know is that we're here experiencing a physical 3-dimensional experience, and we're supposed to just experience things. You know what I mean? Love, you know, I think that's probably one of the most powerful, like, things that we have here in this, like, realm that we're in. And, you're supposed to just experience things, you know what I mean? For your higher self to grow and expand, like you said, transcend, ascend, whatever, you know.
Become who you were meant to be.
Yeah, man. What's beyond that? I don't know. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here trying to make the most of this life that we have. So that's where I'm at.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
And be happy.
So going back to like your past. Okay. who were some major influences in your life growing up?
Eminem.
Like just
God.
in general, not even just musically wise. Just like who what and who has made you the person you are today?
Oh man, there's tons of people. And to leap off that, I think every person that we do come across, like every experience that we do have with someone, whether it's the lady that you had a small interaction with at Starbucks while you're getting your coffee, or people that you've known for a significant amount of time. I think every single person is like an important role into like becoming who you are. So I mean, like everyone I've ever experienced in terms of life has helped make me who I am. So but growing up, I guess like my wife, my parents, my brother, we have a really close, tight-knit family, and like
how long have you been with your wife?
12 years. 13 this year. Yeah, so like we've grown up together.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, I am beyond blessed to be able to like have someone that's like my best friend, but also like my life partner as well. And yeah, man, we've grown up together. We got together in high school, and a lot of people grow apart. That's the way life goes. Sometimes you grow apart as friends, you grow apart as relationships, whatever it may be. You always grow apart from people for the most part. Sometimes you find your way back to each other in life. It's just the way it goes, right? But for it to be constant, and like one thing that I have noticed is like there's always something that makes me fall more in love with her. I know it sounds like really corny, but like no, you really do. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I could be more in love with this person. And then like there's something that they do or that you guys do with each other or together. Like you go on a vacation, you're like, fuck, dude, like I love this person so much, So to like to grow with someone like that first of all at such a young age, I was
like high school sweethearts
15,
is it's something that you're always told like that's not a real thing.
That's cute.
One in a million.
It really is. So to be able to have that, and like I said, I've mentioned her before, and obviously she's a muse to the music, but I'm beyond blessed to have her in my life and be a part of my life. And, we've created life, this last year, which has been an incredible experience. And, like I said, it really opens up your eyes to things and what are the things that are really important into life to you. So, and when you do that with someone you love with every ounce of you, it's an incredible thing. So, yeah. I forgot what the question was. I'm totally
talking about
honest
your
with you.
influences. Sorry, and
Yeah,
then I just
sorry.
derailed us with your life.
I ramble.
That was emotional and beautiful.
You love your wife.
I do, man.
Yeah.
I really do. She's an incredible person, and inside and out.
She's great.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like everyone, for the most part, just loves her. Like she's such like a light to people, and I'll sit there and go on forever. So I'm not gonna ramble on because I can ramble forever, right? So yeah, influences, and that's like I said, with just life in general. You know what I mean? Everyone you come across, I feel like is an experience and a inspiration, good or bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not so great. But now musically, like you said, Eminem for sure. Like that's undeniable. Like, and I think, like we had mentioned in the last podcast, he has such an authenticity of like what he has to say. And then that opened me up to all kinds of different artists. And over the years, it's changed so much. So to give you guys like, this artist and this art, but it's like, you've got like your R.A. the Rugged Man, your Tyler the Creator, like over the years it's changed. And like the people I listen to the most now would probably be like indie artists.
Mm-hmm. Like underground and
like who?
Oh man.
We like three.
We like to do a little underground segment.
Fora.
Okay.
Ollie.
Is that Fora like PH?
Yeah. And probably like Whit Lowry. I'll give you a couple more, like Call Me Charisma.
Call Me Charisma is fire.
21 Pilots has become more mainstream now, but like I hate to be like, well, listen to them before they were, I
did.
Yeah, I've been on that wave, dude. No, but I guess that indie sound that like basically if I can connect to it emotionally,
the rawness,
some sort of,
realness. Like I feel like it. Living in a generation where we grew up with like Eminem was blowing up while we were like really first getting into like hip hop. Him and Mac Miller for me, and they're two of the most raw, real artists, and then branching out into like all the other artists, it's like it really gave me an affinity for real music.
Define real though, Because like to be like you're a real artist, like what makes someone a real artist?
Like being a real artist to me is like actually doing the shit for real, like putting your real emotion and your real heart in it, doing it for completely like reasons not to just blow up and make fucking money, but to make the music because you want to make the music and because you care about the music. Okay. Yeah, okay. Exactly. Perfect. That's what attributes realness to me. Like a lot of these other artists that just talk about fucking bullshit, you can tell in their music they're just trying to get paid, which is also totally understandable. It is a business, you know, it is a way to make money, but I just don't respect it as much.
Yeah.
Personally.
I 100% feel you. And like that's why I had mentioned is where I'm at now is I'm very content and not in a place of like I'm comfortable, because I always want to be in that slightly uncomfortable, you know, that unknown, because if you're too comfortable and you're just, it's just structured work, I feel like it gets watered down, like the art and everything. So
Augie and I have talked about like being comfortable so many times and how toxic difficult it is for us to do things in being comfortable. It's like I kind of just want to like burn something down in my life.
Like I want to be a little self-destructive.
Like every 2 to 3 years, something needs to happen to take you out of that comfortability. And for me, like it's always been like a big move, like moving into a new place or moving like leaving friends or like even just going on like a big trip.
Oh yeah, you know, just kind of reset yourself. You know, fucking Vegas. That was
huge reset.
Yeah, exactly. That was, I know, especially for me and Jado, because he had just like got out of a really bad breakup.
Yeah.
And so I think we all just kind of needed that reset, especially because we were go so hard with the shows.
Yeah.
And then like we were full force with like the album that I was making and stuff. It was so just like boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? So we needed that like, you know what I mean? Like take a step back, and it was a nice reset, because life can get really monotonous, and like, you know, that was a great trip. It was crazy. Yeah. Vegas is always interesting. But no, it was, we got stories. I still
some
tell
dude
stories.
passed out in front of our, so I went
up to, my God,
I went back up to the room because everybody was in the hot tub, and I was like drunk and hot, and I was like, I just need to go take a nap. By the way, I need to take a nap. And so I wake up from my nap, and I'm about to walk out, but I hear people outside my door. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look through the peephole. There's a dude passed out dead in front of my door. Not dead, but like he's out cold, right in front of my door, smack dab in the middle. And I was like,
not unalived.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck do I do? And then all of a sudden I see paramedics come up and firemen and people walking by. I was like, damn, this motherfucker. They were like, sir, wake up, like smacking him and like putting some salt in his face and stuff. And he was not waking up. So he could have been dead. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I never found out. I guess so.
He was alive.
Yeah. But let's fingers crossed for that guy.
Damn.
That's a bad weekend if you...
he's like...
It was wild.
Like, I think somebody else came out that he had like interacted with and was like, yeah, he was trying to find his room. He didn't have his phone or anything like that. He couldn't find his friends. Like, his friends ditched him or something, he kept saying. Like, damn, bro.
Fuck.
You were faded.
I'll be on the next one.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Some people... See, the thing is, like, I have an issue... There. I have not. Thankfully, like, I know my limits, and I feel like I've always known my limits with alcohol. Like, I don't let myself get past a like certain point. Like, I've never like blacked out. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm like, I don't remember a big portion of the night. You know what I mean? So, I think that's good.
I know my limits, but I was always told to push past your limits. And so,
push your limits. Be better.
Not in a self-destructive way, Augie. Damn.
Well, yeah, but when I'm drunk, I'm like,
everything sounds like a good idea when you're drinking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, watch. I could do a double backflip off this roof.
Dude, and I have an affinity for every single time I'm at the bar, I usually end up walking home, okay, if I get that drunk. I end up like, okay, I'm going to walk home, and as soon as I open the door, I black out. Because I've had bad walks home before where I'm like, I wish I was not here for this. I wish I would have just blacked out and woke up at home. And every single time I walk home now, my brain's like, all right.
It's like a defense mechanism. Yeah.
You just woke up in the morning, like, oh, God, what happened? And I'll, like, take videos and stuff. And I'll, like, watch my videos from the night before, just, like, belligerent. Like, I'm like,
jeez,
what am I doing? It's like a message to myself from my brain screaming, help. The last time I blacked out.
Fucking Jay won't answer the phone.
The last time I blacked out, okay, this was last year, beginning of last year. we were celebrating the anniversary of my friend Josh's death. R.I.P. Tarzan.
R.I.P.
And I went to jail.
Jeez,
Yeah, I woke
crazy.
up. I came to, like, they were like asking me my name or something, and I just have like an automatic thing where like I just like list off all of my information.
We should.
Jeez.
And
you got like a lot of defense mechanisms.
Let's go ahead and just insert the clip of the phone calls we got. There.
Oh yeah, well those don't exist.
Damn.
They don't exist. No, they don't exist. But yeah, and then I came to in like a cell. I wasn't in the drunk tank. I was in a cell, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, where am I?" And there was like some Asian dude sleeping on
like
the floor right in front of the door. Yeah, bro.
Oh man.
I was like, "Damn, this sucks." And I was like, "Why am I in here?" The people were talking to me, and they're like, "This is actually like bullshit that they brought you in here. Like I was walking on the street drunk as fuck. There was no one around, and yeah, that's."
Is it still drunk in public if there's no public?
I didn't get charged for it. They just like let me go, and then
Interesting.
I called. So I've seen too many movies, and I was like, I need my phone call. I need to make a phone call. And like this was like 2 hours. I was like knocking on the glass on the door, and people were walking by. I was like, I need a phone call. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll be right back.
Jeez.
And then like
I know my rights.
I'm saying that, and
He has his fucking phone in his pocket.
they sit me down in there, and there's like. It's like a small, like you walk into this door, it's like a soundproof room, and there's a phone here, and there's a clerk on the other side that hands you like the phone back and forth. And I was like, this is so weird, because this is her job. She just sits in there, she's like on her computer, but I'm right here. I'm like, this is so fucking weird.
Damn.
So I'm like, oh God, I don't know anyone's number. The only number I knew was my dad's phone number. So I call my dad. This is like 3 a.m.
Oh,
and
no. The last call you
and I'm like,
dad.
I have to do it if I'm getting out of here, because it was a Friday too. So Saturday morning, and they usually don't release you over the weekend. So I was like,
fuck.
I need to get out of here tonight. So
I'm sure everyone says that.
I called my dad, and I was like, hey, what's Alex's number? He's like, what? I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to explain. I just need his number right now. He gives it to me, and I hang up the phone, and I like make it seem like I'm still on the phone, and I like dial a new number, and because I thought I only got one call, because I'm a fucking idiot. And I call him once, no answer.
It's
and
like 1965.
I leave a voicemail, and then I like hang up. I was like, can I make one more phone call, please? She's like, yeah. That's fine. And I call him again, no answer. And then I did it again, and she's like, you can make as many phone calls as you want. It's like, oh. Cool.
Oh, really?
He's
So,
like, I'm getting an exemption.
I make like 6 phone calls.
That's
no
fucking-
answer, right?
Jeez.
And it's to the like
Fuck
thing.
your
It's
friends, though.
it's
Like,
like
no, just kidding.
it's like, wow, dude. Do I really not? Can I really not count on you anymore?
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's what I
saying.
said on the voicemail.
Yo, we gotta
And
say
Bro,
for
we're
that.
sleeping.
And so Alex wakes up in the morning to all these voicemails. He's like,
Jeez.
oh, fuck. So he calls the jail.
He wakes me up,
Yeah, he calls the jail.
which I
And
hate.
he's like, hey, do you have so-and-so? He's supposed to get released. I'm supposed to pick him up or something. And he totally pulls a move. And, like, while he's pulling up, they let me out. And I was, like, forever grateful. I was like, wow. It was crazy, but I didn't get the time to sleep off my hangover,
Yeah.
so I was fucking dead. We went to
Yeah.
breakfast, and I slept for probably like 12 hours.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Rough.
I believe it.
First time. No, I haven't blacked out since.
Rookie
Ever since
version.
then, I
I
was
bet,
like,
you learned your
damn,
fucking lesson,
bro.
didn't you? Yeah, fuck that shit.
Like, fuck.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then my other friend who was with us that night,
Oh,
no names will be said.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
But
No doubt.
he was with this person, and they flipped a vehicle. And my other friend went to pick him up, and he got away scot-free. But we
Wow.
honored Josh that night. He would have been proud of us, I think.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's real
Probably
proud.
proud.
Yeah. There's my friends still being fucking dumbasses, trying to get themselves killed. Hey guys, it's not as great as it seems up here.
So that was because we got 100 views on an episode. Told you a story.
Oh, nice,
so
nice.
We're doing
Well
like
done.
little things.
Well
True
done.
to our word.
Yep.
Good job.
Oh, my
Alex.
Again, we
Thanks.
appreciate you guys for watching the show. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, facts. Straight
Appreciate
up.
it.
Yeah, feed the algorithm.
Yeah, thank
Please.
you if you stayed this long. You're awesome.
For real.
Yeah, facts. People, we got a short attention span.
Hell yeah. Well, why don't we wrap up
Yeah.
just by go ahead and tell them kind of where they can find you.
Plug everything in.
Your new albums, anything coming out.
Songs.
Yeah. So social media. I mean, I try and stay on every platform there is. Try and stay relevant because that's how you have to do it nowadays.
Yeah.
As much as we may hate it. I'm always constantly working on projects. I love albums. There's something special about albums, and I feel like for me, they're like chapters in my life, and I can go back to those and revisit those chapters for whatever it may be. So that's always an exciting thing. Especially, it sucks being in an era where we live in where it's constantly pushed singles, short attention spans,
quantity over quality.
Facts. So it sucks, but that's what I'm always doing. I'm always working on projects. There's a new album I'm currently working on. I won't release the name just yet, but I stay working on projects. Yeah. It'll be some of the best art.
And follow you on social media at Kayos Music.
Yeah, Instagram, Kayos_music. Everywhere else is pretty much just Kayos, Kayos, not Kayos. It's Kayos.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
No matter how many times I say it.
It's Kayos.
No matter how many times I say it in a song, people still call me Kayos.
And I feel like chaos spelling that way isn't like totally uncommon thing. It's
wild.
like, that's chaos, but
not wild.
Yeah, I guess everybody's brains are wired differently or something because to you it's like common knowledge and it's not that big a deal. But I still get people to call me Kayos, but it is what it is. It's all love. It doesn't bother me.
As long as they know who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Go follow him.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Come out to the shows. We'll be putting some more on.
Yeah, it flows by the river. 3. Look for it. It's fucking
is it 3?
Number
is it
3.
Time?
Yeah.
Coming up. Wow.
Third time's the charm, baby.
Yeah. What are we gonna do next, baby?
26 people.
Yeah. 54 artists coming at you live and direct. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And Pyrotechnics.
Oh, God.
And Ashley Furniture is sponsoring.
Sunday. Come out to the Tehama County Fairgrounds.
Yeah. Jesus. So yeah, I'm always trying to make it bigger and better with everything that I do. Come out and do your thing. Come show us some love. We put a lot of hard work into this, and if you want to be a part of it, we'll see you there.
Hell yeah. Well, it's been really cool having you on here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank
Appreciate
you guys for having me. Appreciate it. Yeah.
For the podcast, I'm Capital J.
I'm Augie Dupre.
We'll see you next time.
This is Broccoli Pod.
Thank you to the ones that stuck around. You stayed down, I hope I make you proud, yeah. Been in the studio for so long, where's the crown at? Self-made in a city full of broken dreams. Ain't shit changed, the odds have always been against me. We do it differently, you can't fuck with our energy. Can't explain everything you did for me. You lifted me up when I was down, up from the ground. Know it's all love when you come around. Gotta get it every single minute, I'm in it to win it. Whatever God you believe in, I am defeating him, leaving him bleeding. Heavy breathing, bringing him to his knees, pleading out, reeking. I am the seed of a different kind of breed. The way I rip it and flip it is like something you've never seen. I could give you this dick in 6 inches of it, and you could get the other 6 on your next visit.